Alright, good day. Lego fans, YouTube, everyone out there. All my friends on Instagram. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit preoccupied with my Lego ball here. This is going to be the theme of today's video, so we'll put that down. Otherwise I won't stop playing with it. Lost a little piece in there too. Yeah, so today I'm going to take you through one of two builds that I'm doing at the moment. As you can sort of see behind me, it's the it's a bit of a giveaway there with the Gyarados, but I'll run through the whole build with you, sort of a few techniques I've used, what I'm aiming for, sort of the size, scale, when I want to be done by. Yeah, that'll be about it really. So sit back, enjoy the ride, and I will take you through it all. Let's go, guys. I'll start here with this first part, which is Gyarados. I'll shift it away. As you can see, it's sort of, it'll pin together and it's a mishmash of whatever pieces, but once it's stuck together, it should be seamless across the lake there. You won't even notice. So I'll spin this around so we can have a better look at this. This is the first mock I ever really envisioned or attempted. It was the shiny Gyarados. I finished this a couple years ago, so there are things I really want to update. There's sort of newish parts and better parts I think I can use. There's sort of some little bits that really irk me on this build, so I'm going to go back once I've done the lakeside and really update this thing. Anything that looks unfinished is unfinished because, yeah, it is all a work in progress. So this old mate here, he's not going to be just chilling out. He'll be somewhere. All this tile and plate needs to be ripped up and redone. I'm happy with the Gyarados itself and the dimensions and where it's sort of jutting out from the water. But like I said, there's just things I want to update on the actual build, make it a little bit more seamless. He's kind of a beast. It might be bigger than minifig scale, I don't know, he's pretty large, but I guess he's red and angry, and if he's a bit bigger than a regular Gyarados, then, really, who cares? See, I've used those, I don't know, I can't remember what they came in, these wing pieces. They were just absolutely perfect for the fins. I do want to rebuild the tail a little. Yeah, there's just things I do want to change up, so we'll just pop that part aside for now. We'll move on to the main build, which is kind of starting to overshadow what was supposed to be the feature of the build, which is Gyarados. That was, that was supposed to be the draw card, but the landscape itself is gaining a lot more traction, so we'll kickstart into that. I went sideways for the rock work this time. I used snot technique, lots of curves, as you can see, cheese slopes, a few regular slopes, not too many, because I wanted a sort of weathered down, layered look, but have it not too sharp, more just, yeah, smooth and curved out. So you can sort of see that there. And then just sort of round it out at the top with more curves, and that, which will lead into some greenery up top. We just got a cheeky wing gull sitting there. I know it's supposed to be a lake, but yeah, whatever. It's a lake gull. We've got an old tree there with a swing I don't think anyone uses anymore. I'll just come out a little bit so you can see that a bit better. It ended up sort of looking a lot like the tree I put in the vault, but just at a sort of a smaller scale. I did use some new parts. I've used those, they're like a claw piece, if you can see them there, just to sort of give that look that is sort of overgrowing onto the cliffside, and it's just sort of been there a long time. So I've used a lot of chains. I stayed away from slopes because that sort of makes trees look blocky. I used a lot of studs and round plate to sort of achieve that barky, rugged look. Now we will just sort of cut across to the cabin. Alright, here at the cabin, I'm going to get our old mate Syringy back out again, our old pointer friend, make things a little easier. Sorry if it's a little dark in here, but anyway, you get it. Sorry, Grandma, just knocked you in the head. Grandma's a little bit frightened, seeing such a big lake monster. Yeah, I sort of went with a siding technique. I've got custom printed tiles that I've bought here in Australia. There's a place called toybricks.com.au. that's where I picked them up from. Yeah, so I originally went with cheese slopes, but it sort of jutted out a little bit too much, and it didn't really look seamless. So I think the tiles on using that siding technique really stands out. I'll take the roof off as well, just give you a better look at the roof. Inside the cabin, there's nothing but structural. It's a bit crushed at the moment, so I'm gonna have to fix that up eventually. Yeah, the roof is just a whole bunch of Technic connectors. I thought, all right, let's try something a little bit different, you know, something you don't see too often. Connector number 4 is actually quite uncommon. It is in black anyway. I'm not sure about the other colours, but so I've had to sort of order quite a few. I thought I'd have a ton of all these connectors, but I didn't have as many as I thought. I've left that little cutout there because that sort of fits over the chimney, like so. So this roof won't be attached, but it's sort of that cutout for the chimney will hold it where it needs to sit. Next I will move on to sort of the part of the build people have really sort of gravitated to, which is the pathway, as you can sort of just barely see down there. So it's like it's a cobblestone path, but I've sort of used a different technique and sort of pieces you wouldn't really use to achieve that. So I'll take you through that right now. Yeah, as you can see, this is my cobblestone path. It is, I mean, it's quite a different take compared to just plopping down some you know, boring flat tiles and just sort of working within a limited sort of space and with limited techniques. So I will show you in a minute how I've actually achieved this look, but it's quite simple once you work out a method and a formula for it. And having it flat was very easy, but once I got to sort of the incline, I didn't struggle, but I just sort of had to sit there and work it out, and I eventually got there. So for each 2 plates you move back, you add 1 plate in height, and you just keep building up all the way to the cabin there, and it worked out perfectly. Actually, I just got to the top there, so all that part in front of the cabin will be flat, and that incline just sort of matches up perfectly. I'll show you set up and show you around the back just so you can see how I've done it. Anyone that follows me on Instagram, they know how I've done it now because I posted a few pictures. But for anyone new out there, I'll give you a little look anyway. Okay guys, this is the inner working underneath the path. As you can see, it's heavily built up, plates, bricks, and then you just lay down a lot of these 1x1 clips. You have your bars running underneath, and then all you basically do is use these clips with the bar hole in the end, and you just work up and you just keep varying the combination. So as you can see, you know, I've got bars here, I've got a Technic ball joint, I've got those reverse round tiles, I've got Technic pin, I've got round 1x1 rounds, so in different color, couple different colors, 3 different colors actually. And it's a very sort of how do you say it, more like an ununiform look. It's very random in pattern, so, and it really gives us a stony look to the path. People have really sort of enjoyed it when I posted it on Instagram, and a lot of people want to use it now. I mean, to be honest, I didn't come up with the actual technique. I did see it on another build, I think called the Mountain Monument. But this is a little bit of a different take. That was used as a wall, and it was only in sort of 1 color, and I thought, look, I can mix up the colors and make it into a nice pathway. Just sort of reuse that technique to for my own build and my own purposing, and just sort of getting that incline as well, as you can see. I'll show you underneath there. So I mean, it's super parts intensive. They're not expensive or uncommon parts, but it just uses a ton of them. So I'm waiting on a few more parts just to get all this filled in there. And I'll give you a little bit of a glance at the cabin there. Just a bit of grass at the back. We've got the chimney. Some of those cool little 1x1 round tiles with the the burl, the wood grain pattern on there, just for a bit of a feature. So guys, let me know what you think about the actual path. And if you like that technique or you want to use it for yourself, just yeah, have a go and just send me a DM on MK Bricks and I'll have a look for you. Send me all your work. I love enjoying. I love to see other people's work. You know, get a little bit of inspiration for myself sometimes. Next, we'll move on to the wharf out there, if you can see it. Oh, that's the other thing. I've always wondered, and I'm sure a lot of people have wondered, if people eat Pokemon in the Pokemon universe, and well, in this build the answer is yes. So we've had some Magikarp caught there. They're going to get smoked up tonight. That won't be there. That'll be sort of, I'll place this up here near the cabin somewhere eventually when I get to it. Fix it down somehow, but that'll just stay there. You know, that'll go up there too. Bit of detailing. Just love those sort of small details. Anyway, I'll get to the wharf. So I'll just spin this build around and I'll show you that part. All right, here's the little wharf that leads to the leads off to the lake there. So we've got the little tyre buffers, just so your fishing boat doesn't hit the side of the dock. Got one of those new, what are they called? The lanterns from the Harry Potter. They're awesome. Great little piece. Another wing gull. He's gonna eat all the bait. So old fishing guru grandpa, he's not gonna be happy. All his bait's gone. And his grandson is pooping his little Dax there because he's seen the big angry Gyarados. So doesn't want any part of that. Let's go home, Grandpa. We ain't fishing no more today. And also, speaking of shiny Pokemon, got a shiny Krabby there. He's just going, making his stupid little Krabby noise. Just chilling, getting a bit of sun, you know, tanning up. Maybe that's why he's shiny. He's got a bit of a tan. This part here, I'm going to put a big cherry blossom tree. That's what I'm thinking. So I haven't worked out the design of it yet or anything. I'm going to rip up all this angled plate because it doesn't sit well with me. I'm going to transition more to that curved top where it integrates a bit better from the snot technique there. So I'll do the same here. So there'll be lots of curves just sort of merging in, and then this will be greenery with a big cherry blossom tree that'll sort of overhang the lake, overhang the path a bit. And then I do plan to plop a few little flowers around the place that have fallen off the tree. The wharf, another easy little build, nothing to it, just brown, dark brown, a few printed tiles. As you can see for the water technique, I'm using 3 layers to get that sort of that depth variation. So I've got the various shades of blue. There's even some teal going to be placed around, and then I've got the you can't really see them here, but all the trans plates here. So I'm just shaking things everywhere. All of the trans plates will go on top of the coloured plate, and then on top we've got all the dark trans blue tiles, 1x1s and 1x2s. So I need a ton of that. You can't really tell, but when the light hits it, you can see that depth. Sorry, I should learn English. Depth variation. I'm stuttering all over the place. You know, sort of between the light patches and the dark patches. So that's what I'm going. It's parts intensive. It does get a little bit expensive to do that, but look, when I build something, I sort of try and go all in with it because I don't want to do things by half measures and go, look, I've dedicated my time and my energy and my, everything in it, and then just only half do things. So, like I said, 3 layers for the water. Should look awesome when it's done, I'm hoping. Looking decent so far. And as you can see, I've sort of built all that cliff over the top of the tiles with the snot technique. Really, that's all about it, guys. So, look, if you have any questions, just leave a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe.